Welcome to My Crazy, My Rules. And if you follow this channel at all, you will know that recently my puppers Blue, my PTSD service dog, was diagnosed with uh, large cell lymphoma. And you see my puppy behind me now. He is still with me, but we do not know for how much longer. And we're just enjoying each day that we have. But with him being sick, and obviously going to be passing soon, it's brought a lot of questions into my mind. And if you're ready, we're going to kind of go down the rabbit hole with Alice because I think this one's going to get a little bit dark. Um, you know, well, if you've followed this channel at all, you know my history. I've been an EMT firefighter. I've been a 911 dispatcher. There's a lot I've done, and I've had a lot of my family pass away. And in this time, I've had a lot of people talk to me about death. Most recently, when my mom passed away last year, one of the things she was telling all the kids as they came and visited her was, you know, be nice to each other, be kind to each other, love each other, and try to do the best you can. And as I was thinking about that, it's like we think, oh, yeah, I know, be kind to each other, love each other, whatever. But when somebody that is dying tells you that, they are actually trying to import a little bit of wisdom to you to try to tell you, hey, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be kind to each other, love each other, and they really mean it. They have nothing to gain. They're literally on their way out. So I was thinking about that, and what is it this life even brings us? I'm watching my dog and trying to give him the very best of the last few days that we possibly can. But what does it matter? What does it matter if we die today or 5 days from today? Yes, we're gone and the people that are here will miss us. But then when they're gone in about 2 or 3 generations, we stop existing. We're gone. Now, it depends on what your religious beliefs are also, and I understand that. For me, in the Jewish religion, one of the reasons we say the prayers we do every single year is that the person's memory should stay alive, even when you don't know the person. Um, and this is why instead of us saying rest in peace, we say, may their memory be forever a blessing. And in other words, just the thought of them should be a blessing to us and how they lived and how they loved. So that's one of the things with the Jewish religion. And in some other religions, they believe that there is the hereafter, that you go to heaven or you go to hell. Um, Other religions may believe that you're going to come back in a different form. Um, some religions may even believe that if you martyr yourself, you're going to have a whole bunch of virgins when you reach heaven. Well, that's great, but in my luck, it'd be 45-year-old men. But that's the way it is. But there's always something there. But my thought is, what if there's not? What if this life is it? And then what does it matter how we treat other people, how we live our life, or even when we pass away? What difference will it make? I may teach my children something now that they teach their children and on down the line, but at a certain time, it's all forgotten. And I know this may not make a lot of sense, but this is the way it's rambling in my head right now because of everything that's going on. Um, Losing Blue is extremely tough. And when I lay with him at nighttime and I just pet him and tell him everything's okay, it's not. He's going to be gone and I'm going to be here. But what's the point? And these are the type of thoughts, and I'm sure other people have these type of thoughts also. But we go and we visit cemeteries of people we may not even know. I go and I visit my father's plot, my mother's plot, my stepmother's plot. I go to see the grandfather that I'm named after, and many other relatives that I've never known or knew for only a very, very short period of time. And it's like we have cemeteries upon cemeteries upon cemeteries that are filled with obviously dead people. Um, but what is the point of visiting someone that's not there? What is the point of saying, hey, I'm going to be this great person while I'm here on earth? Because once we pass away, does it matter how we were? And yes, we have laws that we have to go by, and there's things that you don't do if you don't want to end up in jail. You don't kill, you don't assault, you don't steal. But once you're gone, that record remains of what you were, and that's put in a file box, or it's put on a disk, or it's put on a USB drive, or it's just stored in mega memory. And that's all that's left. So, what's the point? Does that make any sense? I don't know. Am I rambling? Probably. But I guess these are the ramblings of a person that has lost so many people through 64 years. And not only family, I have been on the ambulance when people have looked at me and said, look, please tell my wife I loved her, or please tell my kids I will miss them. I love them very much. And then they're gone. And yeah, you relay the messages, and people are crying and wailing and saying, I will never forget them. But we do. They fade further and further back as we go further and further down the line. And then when we pass, their memory passes also. Um, my father, bless him, and was a great man, and I've said that many, many times. And he not only made an impact on me, he made a gigantic impact on my son, to where my son is teaching his son things that his grandfather taught him. And yes, his son will know my grandfather, or know his grandfather or great grandfather, through what his father is teaching him, but he's never met him. So what's going to happen with the next generation is it's going to be what his father taught him to pass to his children. And then my dad's gone. So through generations, that's what happens. I wish this was a live stream, because I would love to hear some people feeding back into me, because in my brain, it's just going in circles. Um, and I guess, that's some of the psychological things I have going on, but it's just overwhelming to try to think of. I think it was Einstein. I don't know. I think it was Einstein said, if you try to contemplate death and what it means, you'll go crazy. I don't know if it was Einstein, but I know whoever it was, they were right, because I have been trying to contemplate it for a very long time, and you don't get any answers. You just get many more questions. What is it like to be nothing? And I've kind of been thinking about that. And what I've realized is, well, we're really going down a rabbit hole now, but what I've realized is I was not alive for billions of years. And when we study dinosaurs and we study history, and I wasn't there. I have no recollection of that, because I was not there. So after I pass, I won't be here. Yeah, that duh. But what I'm saying is, I was nothing. I was here for a certain amount of years, and then I'm nothing again. Now, one of the neat things about the Jewish religion is we believe even though the body dies, the soul doesn't. And the soul will remain on earth until it's fulfilled its purpose, whatever it may be. Um, and this is, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to quote from anything. I'm going to tell you this is what I have been taught through time. And this is one reason we're told there's old souls. The souls have been around for a very long time. They have yet to complete what their job was, but they're still here, even though it might be in a different body. I don't understand it. I don't remember anything from a previous life or a past life, and I don't believe I'm going to have a future life. So basically, I have between 0 and 110 years to be on this earth. And then once that's done, it's done. So trying to contemplate that, trying to think what it means. And if you constantly see me kind of staring off into the distance, in front of me is my computer screen, and what you see is behind me, with blue being behind me, is on my computer screen, and I'm constantly locking eyes with blue. And this is where a lot of my thoughts are coming from. And yes, he was or is for a little while longer a beautiful dog. The freckles on his nose. He actually has freckles on his tongue as well. It's very, very, very unusual. And he was a very unusual dog. But that's one of the reasons as I spin around to something different. If anybody can follow what I'm saying, please let me know, because I have no clue. I think when I watch this after I put it up to be shared with everybody else on YouTube and wherever else I'm sharing it, I think I'm going to look at it and go, you're crazy. Probably right. But that is the thoughts that are going on in my head right now. And I was talking with my daughter today, and I asked her, hey, how are you doing with all this? And she's 18, she's an adult. And she said, how do you think I'm doing with this? And I said, not well. And she goes, no, I'm not. And we're both in that spot where we're kind of in limbo because, yes, I kicked the camera again. I'm doing really well. Because we are just waiting. So I don't know. These are where all my thoughts are at. Hopefully I will figure out how to go live shortly. So when I am now, let's see, it is 1 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time. So maybe when I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody else that's up at 1 o'clock in the morning will say, hey, I'm up for the same exact reason. I'm up because I don't understand life. I'm up because I'm blown away because someone passed away and I don't know what to do. So for this channel to be called My Crazy, My Rules, I think is very appropriate for right now, because I definitely am crazy, and it's definitely my rule.